Hey, it's Nick Tuminello. I'm an expert contributor here at Reebok One. Here at Reebok HQ, we're talking about training for combat athletes, specifically striking athletes, which is boxing, Muay Thai kickboxing, and MMA. So this is a shoulder circuit that I call the Fighters 4 shoulder circuit. Actually, it can be done with any athlete, and I use it with all kinds of athletes. But for the trainers out there, when you kind of name a protocol after the athlete's sport, they're more likely to stick with it and do it. So I like to give this shoulder circuit to kind of offset some of the stress of being in this position, this combat position, this protective position. So you want to be in a shell when you're fighting. You want to have your shoulders up, chin down. You want to protect that jaw so you don't get KO'd. The issue there is that we want to do some things that reverse that. We want to open things up. So this shoulder circuit, the Fighters 4 shoulder circuit, we like to have the fighters do after that they practice to kind of offset some of that forward position to kind of rebalance everything. So the Fighters 4 shoulder circuit consists of 4 exercises, as the name implies. Let me go over a few coaching cues of each of them, and they're basic letters. So the first one is a Y. So the whole time I'm going to be in a position like this, kind of like a Romanian deadlift, or what we'll tell the wrestlers is kind of like your shooting position except 2 legs. And you can even go half the reps one leg, half the reps the other if you think it's more specific from a wrestler standpoint. Then I go to T's. When I go to T's, I want to make sure my hands are directly out. So if you look at me from the back, a lot of people are going to want to do it like this. They're going to think this is a T. I know it doesn't look like a T, but you'll think that's what you're doing when you're doing the exercise. So you want to make sure that you actually are doing a T. So the cue there is to make sure that you can see your palms. So it should be about even with your eyes. Then we go to W's. So that's, my arms are like this now. So I've gone from Y's to T's. You could have your thumbs back or hands flat on the T's. And then we go to W's. W's look like that. So I want to keep my elbows pinned to my side, and I want to try to pin my shoulder blades together without driving my shoulders forward. Squeeze. Pause for the picture at the top. Take your time with it. Again, don't fly through it. And then the last one is what I call as L's or L rows. So you start like you're going to do a regular row. You pull your arms up like this. So look, I got a perfect T happening here. And then like an axle through my elbows, just hinge on the axle, unhinge, and just reverse the movement. So there's the row or a wide row to the L. So each of these 4 exercises hits the shoulder muscles of the rotator cuff, mid-back muscles at a little different position. As you can see, it helps offset all the closing down that you're doing when you're in that shell position, that standing striking position. So again, we kind of rebalance everything. Again, this is Nick Tuminello. I'm an expert contributor here at Reebok One, and that was the Fighters 4 shoulder circuit.